Have you ever had someone that's just constantly tearing you down?
When we would have sleepovers with a group of friends, this girl would be brutally picking on me the entire time, but when it was just me and her, she was great.
You're just being that positive, like, happy-go-lucky person, and then there's someone that's just like constantly got something negative to say for everything that you've got to say.
And you know why this happens? Because sometimes people stay your friend because they know that you're a good friend. But that doesn't mean that they like you.
Like, not even maybe they're tearing you down, but there's just people that they've always got something to say. Like, they never want to take on board feedback. They never want help. It's always the people that are asking for help constantly that never even take it on board. Like, why did you even ask if you're not even going to listen?
She was always a really negative person.
Yeah, that can be
She
a bit
used
draining.
to slag off her other friends to me and then act like everything was fine to them. So it made me wonder, is she doing the same about me?
Loneliness is far more than just a bad feeling. Being socially disconnected, which can range from feeling alone to being isolated, is bad both for individual and societal health.
They don't hate you. Honestly, they hate themselves. I once knew a girl that would literally tear down everything I would say. Like, there was nothing I could say to this girl that would get through. Like, it's weird because they would always ask for help, or they would always like, what do you think on this? What should we do? And it's just like, nothing I would say would actually go through. She'd always just have something negative to say, tear it down. That's not gonna work. This isn't gonna work. I tried that. And it's just like, why did you even ask? Like, there's a time and a place for, okay, these ideas aren't working, or they're just not in a good mood. Maybe they're having an off day, fair enough. But then when it's like constant tearing you down, they're almost shutting you up almost, like stop talking, like they don't like what you're saying. It's just like, okay, you have a problem with me now. And the truth is, they actually don't hate you, which I know sounds weird, especially if you've got someone like this in your life right now. They don't actually hate you, they hate themselves because they're projecting their version of the world on you. Like, just like if you're a positive person and you're like a nice person, you're empathetic, you're kind, that's who you are internally. You're not fake, like you're not faking it. That's who you are on the inside. So naturally it's gonna come out on the outside. So similarly with this person, like if someone is being horrible to you, tearing you down, if that's what's on the outside, imagine what's on the inside. I saw this quote on Instagram which was like, we reserve our worst words for ourselves, which I think is so true. Like I know I try to be positive and I want to be more of an optimistic person, but sometimes I can like really tear myself down. I would never ever do that to anyone else. So when I saw that quote, I was like, oh my god, that is true. Yeah, like I would never ever say these things to anyone else, but I've reserved my worst words for myself. You have to think about it this way, like if you've got that person in your life right now that's tearing you down constantly, honestly, they tell themselves worse. Like they're telling themselves right now, before they go to bed, as they wake up in the morning, on their way to work, on their way to school, they're being worse to themselves, which is honestly hard to wrap my head around because I'm like, some of the things these people have said to me, I'm like, how have you said worse to yourself? Like, Jesus Christ. Sometimes I think we're an easy target. Like if you're a person that's like optimistic and open, honestly, I feel like you've got a massive like bullseye sign on your face. Like, come attack me guys, like come have a go at me. It seems like they just know you're that sort of person. They know to have a go at you because like, it's not always with someone else. Like I've seen in group situations where I've got that person that like loves to have a go at me and it's like they don't really do it to other people, it's just me. And it's always in group situations as well. Like they're clocking when there's people around to witness the humiliation. Like they like to do it with an audience. They like to see other people witness them making fun of you, which honestly is just bad vibes. But honestly, awareness changes the game, not just for you, but also for everyone around you. Once you know that the world is just a projection and everything you feel internally is going to come out externally, it means that for you, if you don't really like the sort of person that you are, your personality, you don't really like how you talk and how you say things and stuff, it means that you kind of have to start internally and just change the way that you think about yourself.
And how is it that the best solutions are not the ones that we find on the outside, but the ones that we find on the inside? The key here is that we hold the power to form our beliefs. And what actions we take in our life or what we do depends upon the beliefs that we are forming. Any world leader, you name them, have been able to bring a change in this world only because they've already seen and visualized that change being made in their inner world.
everything internal will eventually come out externally. Which, if you think about it, makes perfect sense. Like, everything you say literally starts in your mind. Like, if you just change what's in your mind, obviously what you say will change as well. And then when it comes to everyone else, honestly, it just shows that nothing is personal. These people that are attacking you, I know if you clicked on this video, you've got someone in your life who's giving you a rough time. It's not personal what they're saying. Everything they're saying is honestly just a smaller version of what they're saying to themselves. Anytime you're going through a tough time with someone who's being horrible to you, it's all to do with them and nothing to do with you. I had this weird session yesterday. Honestly, it was called anger and conflict. They should have just called it, we're gonna have people scream at you for an hour. It was essentially training to prepare us for when we're in the NHS and we've got angry patients. So these actors came in and we took turns, we'd speak to the patient one-on-one, and that patient was obviously like prepped to be really angry. They were unhappy about how long they'd waited in A&E, and we'd have to like practice like dealing with the angry patient, calming them down, like, okay, sorry you've been waiting for so long, like we'll try and deal with it as quick as we can. Like, it was good practice for the NHS, but it was so stressful. Oh my god, my patient was waiting for 8 or 9 hours for a scan, and they'd seen people that had gotten there after them be seen before them, so that they'd seen people like quickly go before them, and they were like really unhappy with that. And they were a teacher and school was starting that same day, and they were like stressed about how they were going to get back to work. The patient was super stressed and they were very angry, and honestly, having this in mind, obviously it was an actress and none of it was real, and afterwards she was so nice to me. She was like, you did such a good job, and that was really helpful. But it was just helpful to know that, like, say that was a real patient, it's not actually, they're not being angry at me. Like, they've got their own internal world. They're a teacher. They don't know how they're gonna get back to work on time. They're really stressed about how they're gonna like pay the bills because they need the money to teach, and nothing she was saying was actually targeted at me. It was all to do with like her inner world, and that was just such like a good reminder. It was just helpful to know none of that is actually, it's nothing to do with me, it's to do with them. There comes a time when you realize all this and you just actually start to feel sorry for the person. Like, I actually just feel sorry for you. Like, if you're being that low and horrible to someone else, you're in a dark place. Like, I'm so lucky I'm not in that sort of place where I'd be horrible to someone else. I literally just don't know how to. You have to think, if you're the sort of person that thinks the world is a bad place, that's not really the case. You just have a bad pair of glasses on. So imagine you've got like a blue pair of glasses, like imagine these were blue, and I was going around being like, why is everything so blue? Like, okay, yeah, the sky's blue, but like the houses are blue, people are blue, like what is going on? Like, why are there so many Smurfs and avatars around? The world isn't the problem, is it? And neither am I the problem. Like, I'm actually not the problem, it's the glasses. Sometimes if you're dealing with someone who's having a bad time and they're giving you a tough time, like berating you with all these horrible things, the things that they're struggling through at the moment is giving them such a bad pair of glasses and such a bad lens to see the world through, that they're just becoming a horrible person. But the key thing to remember is that anytime you are dealing with a tough person, because these people crop up everywhere, they're literally all around, that person itself isn't actually the problem, it's actually the things that they're dealing with. And don't take it personal, it's nothing to do with you and all to do with them. Because we reserve our most negative words for ourselves, what they say says more about them than it does on you. We've all had our fair share of people that we've had to deal with, that literally our heart sinks when we think, oh, I have to see this person again, I have to deal with this person, this person's gonna be in my class. Like, we've all been there. Knowing this can help like just distance yourself from that person a little bit. Like, anything they say, it's not gonna touch you. You don't hate me, you hate yourself. This is nothing to do with me. Like, it's such an empowering thing to think when you finally realize this. Let me know what you think of this video in the comments, but I really hope this helped, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.